Welcome back, Tribe. Have an episode here, how dating apps make money and why it's changing the economics of, let's see.
Say you join a dating app because you're on a quest to find love, or just someone to spend time with. You may think you're freely roaming the market. But behind the scenes, companies are creating new paywalls to profit off of what is for some a shrinking number of paying users. In 1995, Match.com was where you went to meet someone online. At the time of its launch, only 14% of the US had internet access. Today, half of all relationships that started online began on a Match Group platform. The dating app industry is now worth more than $5 billion, with nearly 350 million users across different apps worldwide. But people are getting tired of swiping, and downloads are falling. So, companies are trying to build the next generation of dating apps by adding social networks and AI wingmen.
We can see some backlash against pure dating apps.
Generative AI will fundamentally change how dating online works.
Do I think people will be swiping in 5 years' time? No.
This is the economics of dating apps. Match Group now owns and monetizes a big portfolio of dating apps, including Tinder, Hinge, and Plenty of Fish.
And they destroyed every single one that they've bought. They've turned it into a paywalled piece of shit that doesn't work.
Across the industry, there's something for everyone, whether you're looking for a casual hookup, a polyamorous relationship, or someone with facial hair. Most apps today use a freemium model, where part of the platform is free, but you have to pay either a subscription or one-time fee to unlock certain features, like unlimited swipes or new cities. But if companies are successful at setting up a match, they could lose paying customers. So they're trying to get more money out of the people while they're on the apps and keep them around for longer.
Most dating apps really lock people up in paradox of choice by giving them millions of people to choose from. That's how we kind of make money, is by helping you speed that process up, get more exposure, get more people contacting you, help you sort through those contacts.
But the number of people willing to pay for the world's most popular dating app has been shrinking for 6 quarters now.
We have heard loud and clear that some users, especially the Gen Z cohort, are looking for more from their dating apps.
Tinder has 50 million monthly active users. It brought in $1.9 billion in annual revenue last year and invented the now famous swipe right mechanism. To try and bring in money from users while they are on the app, Tinder currently offers a range of subscription tiers and one-off purchases to unlock things like unlimited swipes and being able to see who likes you.
So they did a really great job for a long time. And I think what's happening right now is that people want to graduate. They'll be on a Tinder, they'll hang out there, that's their go-to, but then they'll look for something else. They'll realize there's a particular thing that they want, and it could be that they want a long-term relationship, in which case they'll go to a Hinge.
Hinge was created in 2012, the same year as Tinder. It was also bought by Match Group. It now has more than 10 million users and an annual revenue of $396 million. This app isn't afraid of losing users. In fact, it's made it part of its marketing strategy. While Tinder has been struggling to retain paying users, Hinge has seen a 31% year-over-year increase in people who pay for the app.
What Match has done quite well is buy other properties that then people will go from a Tinder to one of their other properties.
Yeah, they've tiered the entire process in the sense of like Tinder's where you go to hook up and have fun, Bumble's where you go to try out a relationship, and Hinge is where you go for something super long-term and serious with like marriage in mind and family and all that. And so they have a tier structure where they're extracting money from everybody. As you go through Tinder when you're young and wanting to have fun, you then graduate in your mid-20s or later to a bit of Bumble here and there. And then when you've arrived at a more mature level where you're ready to settle down and take things super serious, you go on Hinge, where you go to find like-minded people. In that sense, bullshit. All the apps suck if you're a man.
It is. And that's the magic. Having a portfolio of dating apps, that's really the ideal business model.
The companies who don't own a portfolio of different apps are taking another strategy, keeping people online even after they meet someone. Enter Grindr, the so-called gayborhood in your pocket.
One of our straight counterparts kind of classifies itself as like the app to be deleted, right? We are the opposite. We are the app to be kept because people might get into a long-term relationship, but they're still on Grindr very actively. Again, they have friends on Grindr. They use it in all these other ways.
Grindr was originally designed as a casual dating app for queer men based on people's geographic location. It's grown from one of the first mobile meetup apps to a platform of more than 13 million monthly users with $260 million in revenue. To keep users on the app, Grindr is paving new pathways to profitability by developing features around the ways people are already using it, like for gay-friendly travel tips and healthcare information. Kind of like how Uber started as a rideshare business and has expanded into grocery through food delivery. Grindr is building something the company hopes will appeal to their users in long-term relationships too.
We should not build a dating product that is awesome for 2021 or 2022. We should build a dating product that is going to be awesome for 2027. And so our dating product should be AI first.
Online dating companies are sitting on massive treasure troves of data. We can see how people are communicating. We can see who is communicating with who for how long. So to chew on all of that and make sense of it and look for disparate connections and correlations, that's when I think AI can start giving us something interesting.
Grindr has partnered with romantic AI company XHuman to develop a digital dating assistant called the Grindr Wingman.
So this is something that is kind of present in your app or in your profile always and makes suggestions to you, right? Like, hey, maybe as you're talking to somebody about meeting them for a coffee, these are the 3 places you could go and do that at because it's convenient for them and for you geographically. Or this guy's coming over to your house based on what I know about him and what I know about you. Play this music, while you wait. It could be a conversation starter as well. Like, here's some suggestive text of what you could start the conversation with.
There's no official plans yet, but Grindr's AI features could one day go from wingman to actual companion.
Obviously, we want to solve loneliness for people in real life. First and
Oh, God, here comes the AI chatbots for millions of lonely men, where they're going to squeeze you for every single penny with features of like, how dirty do you want her to talk to you? Slider from 1 to 10, 10 being the most expensive. Do you want us to generate pictures too? Generate videos of her, scale 1 to 10, 10 tiers of payment. Text limit reached. Sorry, in order to get more text, gotta pay. Imagine that shit. It's coming. It's already here.
And that's what Grindr is really good at. But if AI, conversational AI, can be helpful in solving some of that virtually as well, that is something we should think about, right? What direction that will go in, I don't yet know, but it's certainly something we've thought about and we'll continue thinking about and experimenting with.
While Grindr is leaning into AI to retain its audience, Muzz, an app for Muslims, is betting you'll want to stick around even after you get married.
Facebook started as a social network and added Facebook dating. We've kind of gone in reverse. We've got the dating app, if you will, the marriage app, and we're adding the social network afterwards.
Muzz is an app for Muslims who want to get married. It has more than 1 million monthly active users and more than 20 million in annual revenue. There's a ton of different features unique to the Muslim dating experience, including allowing for a chaperone on the app and letting women decide when men can see their photos.
I think one thing that we consciously do is remind ourselves why we exist. And effectively, for me, why we are not a Tinder and a Bumble. For Muslims, getting married, finding your life partner is such a big part of our life, our culture, and even our religion, right? So it's deemed as being half of your faith is in finding a partner.
Muzz says it's facilitated at least 500,000 marriages based on the people who left the app and said they got married. On Hinge, that would mean losing at least 500,000 potential customers. But on Muzz?
One of the interesting things that we launched is effectively a social network for Muslims. And for me, this is looking at, well, how do we help generate more authentic conversations between Muslims?
Younger users gravitate more towards more social apps. It's what they're used to being on all day. So to have something that's social with an element of dating is a good graduation for them.
They're all trying to basically mimic Instagram in a way, huh? Because you can't keep people on such a superficial product, such as swiping left and right. You have to add crumbs of something far more deep, more complex. I know, let's build a social networking aspect to this hookup app, dating app, marriage app, whatever you want to sell this bullshit as, because everybody's paying you. That's the thing. It's driving profits up at the expense of users. So what way to keep them addicted without having to have a valueless payment system like pay for super swipes or pay to have your profile boosted, because that's what your app should be doing correctly in the first place. How do you keep these people on here? I know, social networking, social media, share your pictures, share your dates, share all your successful encounters, share all the cool things you're doing with your partner you met on Muzz, and then all the other people on Muzz or these dating apps will share the same. And it's that dopamine, that rush of, if they did it, so can I. If it worked for them, maybe it'll work for me. I need to stick it out a little longer. Maybe I need to pay for this feature. It's like reinforcing the paywall through the successes of the users. It's genius, actually, because they're not going to pay for any advertisement. It's all done innately, organically by the user base.
We started off with Muzz being the app where single Muslims meet. And I think now we're morphing into the app where Muslims meet.
Bumble is also investing into friendships as a way to keep people on their apps, even if they're not looking for love.
This is an ecosystem of human connections and using technology as a bridge to build healthier and more equitable relationships.
Bumble Inc., which
Corporate
owns
speak.
Bumble, Bumble for Friends, Bumble Biz, Badoo, Fruits, and Official, has 42 million monthly users and a revenue of more than $1 billion. Bumble has positioned itself as the sort of antithesis to Tinder by putting women first. Today, that mission has remained, but it's also investing in friendship apps.
Niche dating apps tend to do it better when it comes to the continuity problem. People tend to stick around on the niche apps because it's they're with their people, right?
Now, a decade into the age of dating apps, these companies are working to capture wider audiences and higher revenue. And your pool of potential matches may be getting bigger and bigger. Say you join.
Don't get sold on as bullshit. It's going to get smaller and smaller. You can't negotiate attraction. The only thing you have is how sexy you are perceived by the other person. The rest comes afterward. That's the whole point of dating apps. Your matches are all based on the perceived attractiveness you have of this person, with their filters, with their angles, and the way their life looks, the highlight reel bullshit, all of that. That is why meeting people organically in person, day game, pickup game, all this shit is going to work and continue to work 10 times better for the average guy, because 70% of communication is body language, and being in person and being able to say a joke, making a girl laugh, innuendos, all this stuff you can't do over text. You can't do over a dating profile where people are too distracted with shit going on and you're trying to keep a conversation going. That only works if you're extremely attractive and arousing someone sexually. Most people aren't that. So meeting someone in person where you're able to command their attention fully and employ those techniques like Kino, push and pull, touching her arm, making her feel something, physically. That stuff will always work above dating apps, no matter how much of this AI bullshit they're going to include and all the paywalls they're going to have and how much of a social network they're going to build. It's all a scheme to make money. At the end of the day, you don't matter. Your wallet does. Your happiness is irrelevant. The profits are relevant. So continue to use these at your own risk mentally, because they're not going to work for any average person. This just proves what I've known for years. The dating apps have zero incentive to create good matches, since good matches leave the dating app since they've successfully found a match. Lesson learned, don't spend cash on dating apps. I don't get why they're looking at people getting married and leaving the app as a lost customer. That would be like a college looking at people graduating as a lost customer. People enter and exit the dating market all the time. If your product is very good at helping people, this is a moron that just doesn't understand that profits matter, not your happiness. My goodness, tech executives are remarkably out of touch. Yeah, well, they want their seventh yacht, friend. It's fake accounts, bots, and folks not really looking for companionship. Love or sex ruined it. It's getting faker by the day. This video made me delete my Tinder account. Wait till the sex bots are released. The male to female ratio is 9-1, and men don't want to pay for things that are stacked overwhelmingly against them. These apps deliberately avoid showing you or matching you with compatible partners because they lose money if you do. They're trying to keep you hooked by getting close, but never there. It's like edging, except the only thing you're going to get is depression and self-deletion thoughts. Online dating is a waste of time. This video about dating app industry sponsored by the dating app industry. So revolutionary. Hanging out in Tinder, you'll find out really quickly that people are just looking for free dinner, free lunch, and free rides. I can't wait for the video titled The Death of Dating Apps to be posted soon. I think the golden era of dating apps is long over. It used to be a decent way to meet people, but now, much like Vegas and Disneyland, it's one big money vacuum designed to suck every last dollar from you. They turned dating into a pay-to-win subscription service. No wonder they're failing. The irony is I got an ad for Hinge while watching this video, and you probably did too, watching my video. Hello, Bumble ads. The retaining audience is pretty sad. Trying to string along people is just plain wrong. Playing with people's lives and fate is a new low. Oh, it's gotten way worse, Olivia. Trust me, they don't care about you. They never did. Grindr keeps people because they still mess around even after they're a relationship. Degenerates. As I told you guys before, somebody who invents, man, I need to get together with some software engineers and create an app that actually matches you with people the way Tinder used to work, but add something else that people can opt in to pay for, or simply just make money from the traffic or the data, or just throw in an ad for an advertiser after every 5 swipes, 10 swipes, who knows what. Keep it super simple. Let the user base absolutely explode. Have people matching and meeting, and it becomes the new talk of the town. You just have to replicate what Tinder did with simple advertisements that YouTube plays you for free. You want to watch for free? Cool. You want to pay for premium? Then you get no ads and maybe some extra controls. That's it. No pay to win function. No skipping the line in matches. None of this shit. Just simply probably more control. Say you pay for the app and the only options you get now is you can select for eye color. You could select for height. You can select for weight. You can select for all these things. You can pay to fine tune your matches, but that's it. You still get all your matches. You're just filtering out through the trash faster. That's simple. If these apps just reduce themselves down to that, they would find that the user base would pay far more for something that simple. But the fact that you made the pay to win function so intrusive, so unequal, so restrictive is why people are getting off the apps. Just because you get in a relationship doesn't mean it'll be successful. Most of them will fail. So that means your users will keep coming back. What's a better incentive to coming back than a ton of relationships that they're going through and then having people talk about, I found somebody off this app. I found somebody on this app. We've been dating. Goes wrong because of, multitude of problems in their personal lives, trauma, all this shit. And they keep coming back to the apps because they keep getting matches. Hit me up in the email, boys. If you're a software engineer and you want to develop some shit and have me push it on the channel, we'll go 50-50 partnership or whatever. We'll discuss. I'm not a greedy man, but I bet you after some brainstorming, sitting down seriously, we can make something that crushes all these shitty apps that are currently on the market. Food for thought. We'll see you guys on the next one.